When people hear CDL class, they immediately get confused. But it gets even worse when they realize that there's something called CDL A, B, and C. From then on, they begin to mix up the terms and confuse themselves and other people in the process. But it isn't that complicated. Just stick around till the end of this video, and you'll be able to understand it and also explain it to your friends and family. Hey there, welcome to this channel. If you're new here or you haven't subscribed, please do. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and click on the notification bell while you're at it. A CDL, also known as the Commercial Driver's License, is a qualification that individuals earn so that they can drive large vehicles like trucks and buses. It is important for people who are commercial bus drivers or for those who transport heavy machinery from time to time. Getting a CDL requires one to be patient, thorough, and smart because you'll need to pass the CDL training to be a licensed driver. This training is just like the regular driver's license, except that trainers will be paying a lot of attention to training to avoid the loss of lives and properties in the future. The CDL is divided into classes known as Class A, B, and C, and although we'll be focusing on Class B today, let's just take a quick look at all the others. CDL Class A. This is the license you get when you plan to drive any vehicle that weighs up to 26,000 pounds, as long as the towed vehicle weighs more than 10,000 pounds. This includes all kinds of truck-trailer combinations, tractor-trailers, flatbeds, and livestock carriers. We have a comprehensive video on the CDL Class A, so be sure to check it out if you need to understand how this license works. CDL Class B. This kind of CDL is the license you need to be able to drive vehicles that weigh up to 26,000 pounds as long as the towed vehicle weighs no more than 10,000 pounds. These kinds of vehicles include straight trucks, large passenger buses, dump trucks, and tractor trailers. CDL Class C. This CDL allows licensed drivers to operate vehicles that are made to carry at least 16 passengers, including the driver. People with CDL C are also allowed to carry hazardous materials and equipment, that is, things rated dangerous under the law. We address the CDL Class C in a separate video, so if you want to learn more about that, be sure to check out the channel. But for the sake of this video, we'll be focusing on the Class B license, how to get it, and the requirements needed to make that possible. Now let's look at what the Class B license does in full scope. As I mentioned earlier, the Class B license allows its owners to operate really large vehicles, and many of these drivers work in the distribution and driving industry. Class B license holders can be school bus drivers, public transit drivers, delivery truck drivers, and mail carriers. According to the law, Class B drivers can drive Class C vehicles, but cannot drive Class A vehicles. This is because Class C vehicles are often smaller in size than Class B vehicles, and as a result of their experience, Class B drivers often know how to handle Class C vehicles. To be a Class B driver, you have to be trained specifically for the position, and afterward, you will be given your license. The training can vary from person to person based on programs and schedules. However, it often contains lots of behind-the-wheel training, vehicle maneuvering, and general vehicle knowledge. You must also have a non-commercial driver's license. That is, the driver's license that regular people use. This will prove to them that you know the traffic laws of the state, and it assures them that you will not misuse your CDL when you get it. It also shows them that you know how to operate a standard vehicle. This means that you know the different parts of a car, and they don't have to go over that during your training. Entering into the CDL field also requires one to own a high school diploma. As it is, educational requirements may vary across states, but generally every CDL holder must have a high school diploma. This is important because that level of education connotes that they can understand instructions and communicate effectively. Another rule which is important to consider is that anyone applying for a CDL license must have a track that is almost, if not completely, clean. Having a good driving record helps as it shows you're not reckless or impatient when driving. The number of accidents that have been caused because CDLs were handed to the wrong people are not pleasant. This is why, in recent times, there has been more scrutiny in the acceptance and training process. So as much as you can, keep a clean record if you plan to hold a CDL in the future. The fact that regular driving is allowed among teenagers in some states doesn't make it okay for teenagers to apply for CDLs. Most times, the person applying must be above the age of 18 or 21. In most cases, 18-year-olds can get CDLs but are not allowed to drive across states until they're 21. To know your eligibility status, you can research more on your own state's requirements. One last thing you must know before you apply is that you must be ready to go through a medical screening. This is to prove to them that you are completely fit and healthy to drive heavy vehicles without putting yourself or other people in danger. With all of that said, you should know now whether you're eligible to apply or not. If you are, congratulations. And here's how to go about it. Research state requirements. As I've mentioned earlier, each state has its requirements or qualifications for individuals to earn a CDL. Some variations can include age, educational prowess, and other important things. So to be sure you're eligible, check with your state's Motor Vehicle Association website. A CLP, known as the Commercial Learner's Permit, is important if you're ever going to possess a CDL. To apply for this, make your way to your local Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, to begin your journey. This training will have you complete several exams that consist of questions concerning general traffic laws and other important things every CLP holder must know. When you're done with these exams, you can now get your CLP and start test driving. Go through the screening process. In order to begin your licensing process, you have to go through several screenings so that your ability to drive Class B vehicles can be tested. At this point, you will be asked to provide your fingerprints. They will be used to run background checks on you to ascertain your eligibility. You will also be asked to pay a fee for your medical screening, so keep that in mind. Get DOT Physical Ability Card. Next, you must undergo a physical examination in the Department of Transportation in your state. This is where your vision, hearing, and ability to see color will be tested. If you pass this test, you will be given the medical examiner's certificate. But keep in mind that you might be asked to retake this test as time goes on. Write exam and driver's test. Once you've completed the aforementioned steps, you are now ready to take the CDL test. The test consists of 3 exams that are set to determine your knowledge of the vehicle type you'll be handling and the traffic laws in your state. Prepare well, ace the test, and you will be handed your Class B license. And that's it. You're now a proud owner of a CDL Class B license. But keep in mind that it doesn't end here, as you can continue taking tests to improve your knowledge as time goes on. Let us know if you found this video helpful.